After many months, here I am doing another commentary for TUGS. In fact, I think it's been a year, 2 years, I don't actually remember since I did the one for Sunshine. Hi everyone, I am Loey Machan, and this is episode 2 of TUGS, Pirate. And once again I'm talking over Captain Star, but it is TUGS. It's fantastic. And I've drawn attention to the soundtrack for this thing before, but bam! That sax solo right there, it's just, it's incredible. Thank you guys. Now then, Pirate, written by Tarquin Cardona, the son of the producer, Robert Cardona, whose name's right there. And I think this is the only episode that he wrote, and it certainly is one of the more memorable ones. And here we have them recycling footage from later in the day in order to make this point. This is the scene where 10 Cents is berated by Captain Star for losing the load recontextualized. Anyway, here's where we meet one of our more memorable characters, Scuttlebutt Pete. And also the first episode where we get a lot of focus on Zip and Zug as a duo. I've got to say, I think Zip is up there with 10 Cents as being my favourite looking tugboat. And of course the goody two screws pun, as in propellers, screws being propellers. Right. I've often mentioned my favourite shot in TUGS, and it's coming up right now. Pardon me. All work and no play make 10 cents a dull tug. I think they're working in the old docks, which we later see getting demolished. Possibly. Alright, this is my favourite shot in all of TUGS. It just looks incredible. The lighting, the glassy water, it's beautiful. Yeah, there's the steelworks behind him, and I think this is the old docks that get demolished in Warrior's Longest Day. Anyway, there is Sea Rogue, one of the more memorable one-off characters. This is a major episode. It introduces Zip and Zug as a pair, it introduces Scuttlebutt Pete, and in any second now we're going to get Grampus. Just introduced in a very offhand manner, right there. Was that his horn? Did he have a little klaxon there? Possibly. Anyway, off they go. And BAM! One of the more atmospheric episodes as well. What am I after? Engineering parts. What kind of accent is that Sea Rogue has? Also, how do they do the tow lines up? I mean, they always show the rope being made taut, but never the actual knotting. Well, it's a very silly mental image of the idea of them maybe throwing ropes like lassos and hooking the tow bollards. And very early morning atmosphere with the mist everywhere, and now we get this fantastic shot here with the two boats' wake causing the buoy to bounce about. It looks beautiful. I'm just checking, and this is one of the longer episodes. In fact, I think along with Sunshine, it's the longest episode, and I think it's the only 2 episodes available that are in what I call the director's cut, because we know that for many of the episodes, additional scenes were filmed which have never been seen in this cut. For example, in Warrior's Longest Day, the subplot with Big Mac ending up upside down on top of an upturned barge. Sorry, ending up on top of an upturned barge. It's one of the few episodes where you see the Zeds interacting with Captain Star, and they obviously respect him and are intimidated by him. I do always wonder, there's something very weird going on here though. I mean, Zip and Zug saw 10 cents more in there, more the barge, and I guess as he was the last person to handle it, the Buck's got to stop with him when it comes up to why the load is missing. Possibly he didn't moor it properly and it drifted away. Is that Lily going by in the background? You'll have to go back and check. Anyway, Scuttlebutt's first dialogue scene. The gossip of the harbour. Of course, scuttlebutt is a naval maritime term meaning shipboard gossip. Scuttlebutt can mean either rumours that are going around, or if you are the ship's scuttlebutt, you are the ship's gossip. And Tencent's job here is basically to bring an empty barge, have silt from the harbour dumped into it by Scuttlebutt, and then go dump it somewhere else. I can only imagine it's very dirty, very smelly, very unpleasant. And Temper loses stack if it wasn't screwed on. A lot of stuff happens in this episode. It's lots of very densely packed stuff. Very short, sharp, snappy scenes. And I love this dialogue between Zack and Zebedee. It's one of Zack's more memorable scenes. Here we come. Didn't even name Zack. And how ordinary people can suddenly turn criminal. See, evil inside of them suddenly comes out. Yeah, Zebedee and Zack, characters I wish we could have seen more of. And here we have the famous Bridge Cafe band and some fantastic jazz music. In my mental image, the Bridge Cafe is a speakeasy because this is the 1920s. It's the era of prohibition. Big city port as a harbour obviously has a thriving gangster element where people can smuggle in bootleg hooch from Cuba and Canada. It's there must have been a lot of interesting stuff floating around Big City Port, and I bet there must have been some fun times in the Bridge Cafe. And here's a scene which always used to give me the willies as a kid. Just that little shot there of Sea Rogue in the distance, and now any second he's just going to suddenly appear and charge right at the camera. And just suddenly yells. Avast! Yeah, Sea Rogue, even if you're not actually a pirate, you're certainly playing up to the role, what with the eye patch and the Avast! Oh, you can just see the lighthouse in the distance there. Where's the thief taking it? It's another one of those very atmospheric scenes now, just these little visionette scenes of Sea Rogue doing his business with the fog helping him and keeping hidden. Sea Rogue, of course, running without any kind of navigation lights, and we'll get some details on that shortly. Now, I meant to say earlier that Pirate is another one of the episodes that's also very memorable for its light and atmospheric effects. It's not quite as overt as Ghosts, but a lot of these early morning scenes with just a little bit of fog on the water, and all the night scenes with a lot of stuff happening in them, are unique in the series. And I think later on in the climax, I think they're sort of giving a very sort of soft blue moonlit effect with lots of white highlights on things, and we'll come to that later. And this is the only other episode that we see Captain Zero in, sadly, and the only scene where we get any interaction between him and Captain Zero, Captain Star, and the two fleets really rubbing off badly on each other at this point. Flares that will shrivel off if the barge is even touched. The mine's stolen. I wonder if they had to dump all their contracts in order to basically get all the tugs in one place, scattered around the harbour at night.